Hi, I'm Sue Rose Minahan, host of Talk Cosmos. It's our weekly panel on Sundays, astrological conversations, YouTube channel, and also the NowCHAT commentary that I'm doing now for March 20th, 2021. It is astrological International Astrology Day, besides the equinox. It's International Astrology Day because the Association for Astrology Networking in 1993 proclaimed that this would be a day to celebrate astrology. And it begins the first day of the astrological year, which is the first full day of Aries. In fact, Talk Cosmos began in 2018 during this month, closely in alignment. It happens to start on the 7th. And I always see it as the beginning of the next season. And tomorrow will be the 4th season for Talk Cosmos, for the hour panels, which is very exciting. We're all beginning new things. That's what Aries is. It's that leap forward, that seed that we took and germinated from our whole of the Pisces experience and become a new identity. Right now is so potent. There's so much happening. Tomorrow is going to be a wonderful show with a great panel talking about several beginning introductory cycles that we're experiencing, and the equinox is one of them. So as far as the equinox, it is, and back to that, because it begins a tropical zodiac. Well, what's that? It is astrology realizing that we have the earth spins on its axis, that's axis, thank you. And it 23.5 degrees. It's actually 23.44. And as it orbits around the earth, the sun, and it goes up to 23.5 or 23.44 north and that south from the equator. And it reaches that top the Tropic of Capricorn at the solstice, which is when the sun stops. When the sun is at 0 degrees Capricorn, they're cardinal signs. Like this is Aries, just like the other equinox in the autumn is in Libra at 0 degrees Libra. They're activity, motions. And when it goes down to Cancer, 23.5 Cancer below the equator, that is at the summer solstice. So there you have some history. Now let's see what's happening with the equinox, which is today at the 0 point. So I am going to share this, and don't mind that it's not 00. I'm so sorry. Okay, because I got a little confused with the Venus star point, which is actually going to be on the 26th. And that's the other subject that's very exciting that we'll talk about tomorrow. So right now we're going to look at a couple of charts. This is the standard chart where we take the sun and put it on the horizon of the ascendant. So because it is 0 degrees Aries, and we look at what's the theme of this start that we're throbbing to do in so many ways. I think the energy is just coming at us in many directions. And as you can see, it's a bit of a healing with Chiron. Well, we're going to go rather to Mars. Mars is the dispositor of Aries. And putting it on the ascendant reveals quite a bit. If we look at this chart, and this happens to be from the equinox point on the East Coast at 5:37 in the morning, Eastern Daylight Time. And you just shift those according to your time zone. On the West Coast, that would be 2:37 in the morning. And here in Hawaii, it was actually last night at 11:57. We're 3 hours difference. It's a constant juggle job. Okay, this chart, Mars is in Gemini. It's mutable. That's a big energy. And it's also square the ruler, its ruler, Mercury, there at the top. So a lot of our action as we're headed there, it's a north node, it's all in self. When we're thinking about our energies, is a lot like how are we thinking them out? And what are all the multitudes of areas in Pisces that we can possibly be considering, and to stay away from the victim, to know that we're co-creating with spirit. That is the big message, and that it's personal, it's our story. So looking at the next chart, because this is not a long talk today, I don't think, but we're just getting a snapshot with this. And oops, I went too forward. I jiggled everything. All right. So now we're going to go to, okay, we did Aries. Okay, Mars. We did Mars. Okay, now we're doing Mercury. That Mercury, pardon this. I hope you're following with me. Mercury. What is Mercury thinking? Well, that's all really about our own self. And it's on the eastern side of the hemisphere. And from that perspective, the gates are wide open. They're wide open and they're thinking abundantly. And in some ways, they're thinking about what was the past as far as our belief structures and where is it that we want to go. And we have to root down into ourselves. I just pulled a card today that said, every tree has its roots grounded in the earth and it won't fall away. You don't have to worry about yourself going off into the distance. But be grounded, get those roots planted, and know that, because there's a lot of energy in that self. As you can see, not only is Mercury doing a lot of thinking in every direction, it's in Pisces, no boundaries, and it's very sensitive. It's picking up signals. So be sensitive to what you might read, what you might see, what's attention. Think, don't overthink, just recognize the pictures of life, because Neptune, the great imagination, is there with lovingly close to to Venus. So you want to love all your imagination in your sun. So it's really a dynamic start. And it's going to also consider where you're needing to take the wisdom that you've gained through your wounds and apply them maybe as resources that you can nurture yourself and nurture others. Okay, looking at then the south node, because that really was also related to the north node of our direction, is the south node. So what is that about? And it is in Sagittarius and Jupiter. If we put that on it, well, Jupiter is not so much an aspect to a lot. It is trying, it is wanting to be in support of where we're going. It wants to think of those broad stories, but yet with Mars there, it's ready to cut away some of that energy. So because it is in Aquarius, we could look at both Saturn and Uranus. So looking at the next chart, here we put Uranus at, which is the modern ruler of Aquarius, along with the traditional ruler of Saturn. And they're in this square for the year. They're traveling so closely together. Right now, they're about 2 degrees different, but yet they will meet 3 times. They've already met once, and they're going to meet twice more this year. So we're going to be reviewing, going over, how are we breaking away and reforming our structures? Well, a lot of it is in Aquarius as far as online, artificial intelligence and networking and community. And that's how we're reaching out. There's also some shock and some crisis, which has to do with such sudden change. Yet if we can realize that's wanting to get to our authentic purpose, there's such a gift with that. And it's very intuitive. Really, one wants to use, again, that energy. So the year ahead has many dimensions for us that are building. It wants to build. It wants to get connected to our body too. So subscribe, comment. It's the equinox. It's just a fleeting time of energy. We're going to be moving towards lots of new starts. Find out tomorrow with Talk Cosmos. I have Jeff Gronlund and Ray Sapp, wonderful astrologers. And we're going to talk about where are we going. Okay, connect with you again. Thank you.